If you happen to like this content, be sure to watch it till the end. Give it a like if you like it. And let's go ahead and get right on into this. So now let's go ahead and start reconstructing this entire argument. There are multiple factors at play here when it comes to the paranormal, when it comes to hauntings. Not limited to the physical factors at play here, the environment that anyone happens to be within, the human who happens to be here as well. But what happens when, after everything is taken into account, all of the activity happens to continue? You've gone ahead, you've looked at everything that you possibly could to see if someone is pulling a prank on you, using string to make objects move, batteries, motors, all this kind of stuff, wind, gusts, whatever there might possibly be there. You are looking as much as you can to see if there's a mundane reason. Or you just happen to find yourself out in the woods, tree limbs fall all the time, leaves fall all the time, wind through the leaves happens, scurrying of animals happens, there's no one else around you, yet footsteps, voices can be heard all around you. The insects stop. The content creator that I follow did say that that potentially means that a human is nearby, and if that is true, that human is you. Regardless, all of the activity has stopped, and there's nothing to debunk. Yet you are hearing these things happening all around you. So what then? Let's go ahead and let's make a survival guide real quick. All of these things are happening. There's nothing to debunk. So something is there that you cannot see. But let's start with something very, very basic real quick. What you are dealing with here is not a human intelligence, so it is worthless and a waste of time to attribute human rationale, logic, and reason to something that is not human. It's possible that you're dealing with a spirit that may have been human at one point in its existence, but it's not human, or at least not a form of human spirit that you are familiar with. Bringing us back to the notion that this intelligence is not human or not recognizable to us as we currently are, and it is worthless to attribute human rationale, logic, reason to this entity in the first place. For this survival guide to work appropriately and as effectively as possible, there is a thing out there that you should probably look into. It's called shadow work. Shadow work is a psychological and therapeutic practice that'll allow you to get in contact, intimate contact, with the shadow aspects of yourself that you have shoved into the shadows because they are deemed not socially acceptable. Ideally, when working with these entities, that would be the ideal. However, let's say that you are not familiar with this practice. You have not done this in the first place. The activity starts spiking to a level that you begin to question your own ability to handle all of this in the first place. Step 1 is recognizing and realizing that this is a psychological trick to diminish you of your own power. You actually have all of the control here, and you always have. Another thing that you should recognize is this thing is energy. It feeds off of energy, and if it is in your home and working with, playing with, or playing its tricks against the quote-unquote target, you, then it is feeding off of your energy. And as we established, you're the one who has all the power here. If you don't want this thing to be in your life in the first place, don't give it energy. It's going to be persistent. It's going to play all of the tricks against you. It's going to try to find and get a rise out of you in one way or another. Like a small child. And it's going to keep going until you've had enough. The spoiled child will keep pushing and pressuring and poking at you, but don't let it. At that point, sage, smudge, and all of these things are okay, regardless of which stage you're in. But you need to remember who is actually the one in power here, and it is not that entity.